How much protein do you actually need every day? This is one of the most confusing questions in fitness and health, especially if your goal is to stay healthy, build muscle, or avoid muscle loss. When people start exercising or going to the gym, they hear many rules about protein. One of the most common rules is this: eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So, if someone weighs around 187 pounds, that means eating 187 grams of protein every day. For many people, this sounds extreme, expensive, and confusing. So the big question is this amount really needed? To answer that, we must first understand what protein really is. Protein is made up of smaller units called amino acids. Hundreds or even thousands of amino acids join together to form a protein. Amino acids contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. That nitrogen part is very important for muscle and tissue repair. Even though proteins can be very large, your body uses only 20 different amino acids. Different combinations of these amino acids create different proteins. Muscle tissue is mostly made of protein. But protein is not just for muscles. Proteins work as enzymes that control chemical reactions. Some proteins act as hormones that send messages in the body. Some proteins transport oxygen, nutrients, and minerals. Others protect your immune system and help you fight infections. Now, here's something most people don't know. Protein in your body is constantly breaking down and rebuilding. Exercise increases protein breakdown in muscles. Eating protein and resting helps rebuild that muscle. This balance between breakdown and rebuilding is very important. Scientists measure this using something called nitrogen balance. Nitrogen enters the body when you eat protein. Nitrogen leaves the body through urine, sweat, and waste. When intake equals loss, your muscle mass stays the same. To build muscle, intake must be slightly higher than loss. If loss is higher, muscle loss can happen over time. So, how much protein creates the right balance? The official recommendation is called the RDA. The RDA is zero point 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. For a 175-pound person, that's only about 64 grams per day. But here's something very important to understand. The RDA is the minimum amount needed to avoid deficiency. It is designed for inactive people, not active individuals. Even light exercise increases protein needs. That's why physically active people need more protein. Most research suggests a range of 1.2 to 2.0 grams per kilogram. This range exists because people have different goals and activity levels. Light activity fits the lower end of the range. Strength training and muscle growth fit the higher end. At 1.2 grams per kilogram, our example needs about 94 grams. At 2.0 grams, it increases to around 159 grams per day. This explains where the 1 gram per pound rule comes from. Protein needs always depend on your goal. Muscle building and strength require more protein. Endurance athletes may also need higher protein. Long training sessions increase protein breakdown. Sometimes protein is even used for energy. So intake must replace what is lost. Protein needs increase further during weight loss. Higher protein helps protect muscle while dieting. Now let's address a common fear. Is eating too much protein dangerous? Protein breakdown produces ammonia. Your liver converts ammonia into urea. Urea is safely removed through urine, but the body has limits to how fast this happens. Research suggests up to about 2.5 grams per kilogram is generally safe. Beyond this, muscle benefits reduce significantly, and metabolic stress may increase unnecessarily. So, this acts as a practical upper limit. Let's simplify everything we discussed. Protein builds and repairs your body. The RDA is the bare minimum. Active people need more than the RDA. Athletes often need the higher end. Protein needs increase during fat loss. High protein intake is generally safe within limits. There is no one perfect number for everyone. Your lifestyle and goals matter most. You can calculate your needs using body weight. Using grams per kilogram gives better accuracy. Protein works best with a balanced diet. Consistency matters more than perfection. Extreme intake is not necessary for results. Understanding protein removes confusion. More protein is not always better. Smart intake beats guessing. Protein supports long-term health and strength. Your body responds best to balance. Now you can apply this knowledge confidently. Choose protein amounts based on your own goals. There's no need to fear protein. Simple science leads to better decisions. Hopefully, this cleared your doubts. Now you know how much protein you actually need.